Hey everybody, I'm Michael DiTullo. Welcome to my studio, and let's get into another episode of Fixed It, where I look at an existing design on the market today and look at how I might interpret it a little bit differently, how it could have turned out maybe a slightly different way. So today, by request, I'm going to be taking a look at Lexus. A few months back, I did a video on the BMW 3 Series, just tried to really kind of clean up the front end. And in the comments, somebody asked me to do the same with Lexus, which is probably a great idea because, Predator. Before Lexus was making these rather kind of gaudy, over-designed vehicles, they were actually known for making rather reserved cars. I'm thinking all the way back to the beginning of the brand in 1989. The cars were praised for their technical prowess and slightly derided for being maybe a little bit predictable, but they were really nice. They felt like world-class cars. Jumping ahead just a little bit forward into 1991, the SC400 came out as well as the ES series, and those cars were actually really nice. I think rather quickly, Lexus started to step into some fresh territory, and if you look at that ES car, this is still a really nice car, the ES300. The two-tone lines, the rather kind of progressive front end, I don't think it really looked like anything else. I think it would have been really cool to see where they could have taken that if they stuck with it a little bit more. Same with the SC400. I remember when that came out, there was a bunch about just how different that design was, and still to this day, it looks rather unique, I think. I think it's a great looking car. Wheel sizes and things like that aren't contemporary, of course, but you could see how this design freshened up could still be just a beautiful looking design. One of the things that reminded me to do this video was recently I saw pictures for the new 2021 Lexus IS series, which I think is much improved from the previous generation. It's starting to get a little bit sorted out. I've always been a big fan of the original IS, going back to 1998, I think it was, when that car first hit the US. Just a really nice looking sports sedan. I remember one of the design directors at Nike when I was there, Tracy Teague, had one in yellow, a nice manual, of course, and just like a really cool car. The gauge cluster was really nice inside. The exterior, maybe a little bit predictable, but really nice proportions, super short front overhang, and just a great looking design. So looking at the new IS, it's getting a little bit back to that, but I thought it might be nice to kind of just take that as a base image to start and see maybe where I could take it. All right, let's dig into it. All right, so obviously we still have the spindle grille. One element that really doesn't work about it to me is how it really bottoms out at the bottom. There's no body down there. It's just like the grille runs into the ground, as do these kind of side vents that are completely fake. I mean, you can see they're just completely blocked off. Working around to the side though, it's not all bad. This wheel arch is really nice. There's a light catcher on the side that's nice. A couple other funny things going on. There's a little segment where the rear wheel arch kind of intersects with that light catcher in an odd way. Also, the shoulder line is chopped up into 3 segments, and that just seems kind of awkward to me. But at least the rear view mirror is nice, and we don't have any cliches like a fake floating C-pillar or some kind of a stock vent behind the front wheel. We do have this unnecessary surface in the front door that just seems to die nowhere. But enough complaining, let's open it up and see what I might do with it. First thing I want to do is just get rid of this giant grille, of course. Maybe just focusing on a lower grille and then switching over to a more contemporary light bar. I know it's a little bit of a cliche, but I think it would work well with this design. Secondly, let's clean up the flanks and get rid of some of these things that just go nowhere. All right, I'm going to start with the easy bits and clean up the side here. Look how nice this light catcher gets just by giving it a little bit of space and getting rid of that extraneous surface. I'm going to back off that light catcher as it gets to the rear wheel arch too and give that a little bit more breathing room. And now let's clean up that shoulder line. Just give it one nice long clean line from the front wheel arch all the way back into the taillights. That's just going to make the design a lot stronger and cleaner. And while I'm at it, I'm going to delete that plastic bit on the rear bumper. And with that, I've avoided it long enough. I've got to tackle this front end. What am I going to do with this thing? First, I'm just gonna wipe it clean. Let's just get rid of everything that we saw there with the spindle grill and make it one nice clean surface that we can use as a canvas. I'm gonna bring in a little bit from the old grill and just make it kind of a nice lower grill and start to sketch out what a light bar might be. Let's make the strike face a little bit bigger, make the light bar a little bit slimmer, giving us a nice, clean, kind of modern look. And that gives us the opportunity to have this nice, clean bone line that goes from the very edge of the turn signal all the way around and makes this nice, clean shape in the front. I'm gonna bring some of the hood accent lines through the headlights into the bumper a little bit, sharpen up the air dam, and add some running lights in the bottom corners instead of those fake air inlets. This is looking good, but those old-timey carryover door handles are holding us back here. Let's get rid of those things, and now we've got a really nice clean side. We're gonna need some way to get into the car though, so I'm gonna hint at some nice flush handles, bring in a Lexus logo. I'm gonna just add some reflections to my light bar, pump up the reflections on the side glass. Back in the day, Lexus used to do these really cool green window tints, so I'm gonna bring that back in. And these wheels are a little bit fussy, so I'm gonna bring in some of the wheels from one of their SUVs. That's actually a pretty sweet wheel. So that's what I do with it. I'd strengthen up that shoulder line, strengthen that side light catcher by simplifying it, really cleaned up the front, brought in some of that old school green tint and some nice wheels from one of their other models. All right, let's look at them side by side. The original, yikes. And then here's the update. Much cleaner, much smoother, a little bit more contemporary, maybe a little expected, but I think it feels good. Is this the most original design or direction Lexus could take? Of course not. It's just a quick look, 20 minutes of messing around with this design and playing with it. But I thought it could be fun just to take a look at this and see where it could go if the designers decided to take a much cleaner route. Maybe it feels a little bit more contemporary. And maybe that's not where the Lexus consumer is. Maybe what they're trying to do is very intentional. I'm not trying to criticize those designers specifically, just showing where I could take it. If you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know down in the comments. I love hearing what you all think about what would be a great subject for a future video. So let me know. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. And before I go, I just want to give a shout out to my friends over at Standard H. They always hook me up with some sweet, tasteful, kind of car-related gear. A new project that I actually helped them out with in the early days just came to market. It's actually this cool little machined shift knob that's it's kind of like a desk ornament paperweight. If you got a car lover in your life and you're looking for that perfect holiday present, maybe pick this bad boy up. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Until next time.